Let's back up 10 seconds to 5 men in an alley and my hand on the first one's wrist. I told you I don't like fighting. I need you to watch this one closely anyway. Not because it's flashy, though it is, but because it's the first time I understood what I actually am now. Not a hunter. Not a soldier. Something new. A woman with a kitchen at her back and people to protect. Watch how I fight. It's cooking. It's all cooking. First rule of my island: never chase, never rush. Let them come to you. 5 men in a narrow alley can only reach you 1 or 2 at a time. The alley does half the work, so I didn't move toward them. I planted at the stall's mouth, my cliff, my choke point, and I let the ravine funnel them in. City fighters attack. Hunters wait. In a tight space, waiting wins. The first one swung hard. Big telegraphed city haymaker. I've watched a whale turn in the water. This was slower than that. I didn't block it. Blocking meets force with force, and I'm not interested in force. I turned, let his own swing carry him past me, added the smallest push, and let the wall introduce itself to his face. Tai Chi, my grandmother would call it, if my grandmother knew the word. She just called it letting the sea do it. 2 more came at once. And this is where it gets fun. Because 2 came at once and my hands were not empty. When you fight at the mouth of a kitchen, the kitchen is on your side. I grabbed the first thing off Goro's cart. A wok lid. Round, heavy, good steel. Turns out a wok lid is just a small round shield the gods left in your kitchen. Who knew? I did, about 1 second before I needed it. Wok lid to deflect. Then a ladle. Long handle. Good reach. Better than a fist for keeping distance. To tap a knee here, a wrist there. Not to hurt. To unbalance. A hunter doesn't need to hit hard. A hunter needs the animal off its feet, in the snow, where the fight is already over. I put 2 of them in the snow. There wasn't any snow. There was a puddle of dishwater. Close enough. The leader was smarter. He hung back, watched me work, and pulled a real weapon. A short steel pipe. He came in low and fast, and actually skilled, and for the first time all night I had to take him seriously. Good. I like serious. Serious is honest. I dropped the ladle, picked up Goro's heavy iron wok, the whole pot, still warm, in 2 hands, and I stopped playing. He swung the pipe. I caught it in the wok. A wok is a bowl of iron. Swing a pipe into a bowl of iron held by someone who's braced a whale line, and the pipe stops, and your arm learns something about physics it won't forget. I felt the shock of it, up my own arms too. I've held harder pulls on the ice. I didn't move. I just looked at him over the rim of the pot. And I watched him understand that he'd brought a pipe to fight a mountain. I could have ended it hard right there. 1 swing of a loaded iron wok and he doesn't get up for a month. I didn't. That's the whole point of this episode, so I'll say it plain. Strength you can't hold back isn't strength. It's just a landslide. Anyone can be a landslide. I turned the wok, trapped his pipe against the wall. and pressed. Slow, patient, irresistible, until his hand opened and the pipe dropped and he was just a tired man breathing hard against a brick wall. No blood, no break. Held back, on purpose, every time. And then it was just quiet. 5 men down or done, the stall untouched, Goro behind me still clutching his little cleaver, ready to die for a pot. I lowered the wok. My hands were steady. My heart was slow. The dawn quiet had been with me the whole time, I realized. Not gone during the fight, but underneath it, holding me level. That was new. On the island, the fight and the quiet were separate. Here, for the first time, they were the same thing. I didn't have a name for what that meant. I do now. The leader, hauling his men up to limp away, gave me the warning again. The syndicate. Someone I can't hug into submission. A storm coming. I let them go. Never trap an animal you don't intend to keep. And I didn't want to keep them. I wanted them gone, and Goro safe, and to finish the broth we'd started before all this. But I watched them go with a hunter's eyes. Because someone else was in that alley. Someone I'd felt the whole fight and hadn't looked at yet. On a fire escape above the alley, in the dark, someone had watched the whole fight. Not a thug. Still, patient, professional. The way I go still watching game. A watcher watching a watcher. I looked right at them. They didn't flinch. They studied me a moment longer, made some private note, and slipped away over the rooftops without a sound. A scout. I didn't know for what yet, but I know a scout when I see one. I've been one. Someone had just marked me as prey, or as a prize. In that city, they're the same thing. Goro made us the broth. Conking. Of course, he said. A fina. Hands he did. Hands shaking, humming to himself, the way old men do, when they've been scared and won't admit it. We ate in the wrecked but standing stall and didn't talk about the syndicate, or the scout, or the storm. I could feel dropping. We talked about salt. Whether the broth needed more? It didn't. It was perfect. Some nights you protect the pot, and then you drink from it. And that's enough of a life for one night. Then a small sound at the alley mouth. I was up with the cleaver before I'd decided to be. But it wasn't the syndicate. It was a boy. The youngest of the 3 who'd robbed me my first night. The one who pulled the knife, and the one I gave the coins back to. He stood there in the neon, looking miserable and terrified, and about 16, and he said the last thing I expected. I want to learn how to not be them anymore. Can I work? Goro started to say no, sensibly. The boy had robbed me. But I've watched a lot of young things that were more scared than dangerous. This one had come back. That takes something. On the island, when a young hunter fails and returns anyway, we don't cast them out. We put a knife in their hand and a task in front of them, and we watch what they do with it. So I handed Taki a bucket and pointed at the dishes. Prove me right, I said. He cried a little. Then he washed the best dishes of his life. So now there were 3 of us: an old man, a giant, and a reformed pickpocket, running the best little stall in a bad alley, in a huge, indifferent city. I'd left my island to find a bigger world. I didn't expect the bigger world to be this: a pot, a knife, and 2 people to protect. Somehow it was more than everything my island had. Smaller and more. I'm still working out how both are true, but I'm not naive. I felt the scouts' eyes even after they left. I heard the word syndicate 3 times in one night. When a predator marks you, it doesn't forget. It goes home and it tells the bigger predators, and it waits. I'd embarrassed someone's earners, beaten someone's enforcers, and made a dead stall shine in a district somebody owned. The storm wasn't coming anymore. It had my scent. Good. Let it come. I've never lost a storm yet. That night, Goro said the thing that plants the whole next chapter. Watching me clean the wok I'd fought with, he said quietly, "You know they'll be back. The syndicate doesn't lose a district. This stall, this alley, all of it. They'll take it, one shop at a time, unless someone bigger stands in their way." He looked at me. I looked at the wok in my hands. Neither of us said the obvious thing. We didn't have to. Some jobs choose you. I did the dawn thing before sleep. Out back, apron in my lap, the wok beside me. Breathed. Went quiet. And the quiet was fuller than it had ever been. Not a voice. Not yet. But a presence. Steady. Old. Patient. Like it had been sitting beside me my whole life and I'd only just turned my head. I almost said something to it. I didn't know what. So I just breathed and let it sit with me. And it did. Whatever it was, whoever it was, I wasn't alone in the quiet anymore. I've been telling you I don't like fighting, and I've now shown you 2 fights and there are 17 more episodes, so let me square that. I don't like fighting. I love protecting. Those look the same from the outside, and they are opposite things on the inside. One is about ego. One is about the pot. Every hit I throw from here on out is for the pot. For Goro. For Taki. For the alley. Remember that when it gets loud, Hiantu. It's not about winning. It's never been about winning. Word of the fight moved through the district by morning, the way word does. A giant in a chef's apron beat 5 syndicate enforcers with a wok lid and a ladle and didn't spill the soup. By noon, 3 other little shopkeepers had come by Goro's stall. A baker, a tea seller, a knife sharpener, just to look at me and to whisper the same careful hope. Are you really going to stand up to them? I gave them all broth. I didn't answer. But I think the broth answered for me. That's how it starts, I think. Being someone's shield. Not with a speech. With soup. With standing at the mouth of an alley so an old man can sleep. I came here for a bigger cage. I'm starting to think I came here to build something instead. A place. A safe, warm place in a hard, cold city, with good food and a door that doesn't close on anybody. I don't have it yet, but I can see it now when I go quiet. A little kitchen with my name on it. Soon. SENSEI Question 3. the one this whole night was about. Is strength something you use or something you hold back? I could have hurt 5 men tonight. I chose not to. That choice cost me nothing, and it's the only part of tonight I'm proud of. Anyone can hit hard, Hiantu. The whole art is in the hitting soft. Think about it. Breathe with me. I'll see you in the quiet. And next time, I finally get my kitchen.